So I decided to do my own investigation. So this is called Excerpt from Risk of Miscarriage Among Black Women and White Women in a U.S. Perspective Study. Very creative. We characterize miscarriage as the revolt of the uterine lining, a migration of in-development cells, the anonymization of membrane, the anonymization of a would-be body, the sticking of the pelvic clock, the wholesale rejection of cohesion, the clenching of the abdomen, the collapse of a calcifying structure, the body molting one tissue paper layer at a time. Our findings warrant further investigation. We cannot explain the disparity in risk and pattern of loss between Black and white women. Because we could not offer advice on how to stop the bleeding. Because for this study to generate meaning, there had to be bleeding. Because we could not factor in stress levels. Because we do not recognize across, in, next to ocean trauma. Chattel slavery was unlike any sort of slavery trauma, plantation trauma, matrilineal trauma, colored-only, Negro-only trauma, every 107 seconds a sexual assault trauma, every 28, 12, 8 hours on the hour a trauma, because the body remembers, because the gestational week is a liminal space, because the biological mechanisms to explain miscarriage are not well understood, because the embryo is not a hothouse rose, because the uterus is not a greenhouse, because we could not optimize growing conditions, we were unable to contextualize our primary finding. Black women have a nearly twofold higher risk of miscarriage compared with white women during gestational weeks 10 to 20. Because previous history of miscarriage is an established predictor of miscarriage, because the body cannot unlearn itself, we were unable to contextualize our second finding. To miscarry as a Black woman is to refute a rumor held so close to the skin, it became part of the skin.